Good afternoon. Today is Wednesday, August 19th, 2026. You're listening to Cyber F.M. and I'm your host, Arias Thomas. On today's technical brief, we are diving into the core security architecture of modern web infrastructure, breaking down exactly what an application programming interface, API, is from a cybersecurity perspective, how it functions as a primary attack surface, and why securing its endpoints is vital to enterprise defense. We'll be discussing number 1,
API definition and architecture.
Understanding APIs as the underlying communication channels connecting modern microservices and web applications.
2. The cybersecurity attack surface.
How exposed API endpoints, weak authentication headers, and broken object level authorization, BOLA, create exploit vectors.
3. Data leakage and shadow APIs.
The risk associated with undocumented endpoints, excessive data exposure, and unmonitored API keys.
4. Defense and hardening strategies.
Implementing strict API gateways, rate limiting, token validation, and continuous posture monitoring. Let's begin.
Cyber FM presents today's technical brief. Understanding APIs in enterprise cybersecurity.
At its foundational level, an API, also known as an application programming interface, is a set of standardized protocols, routines, and definitions that allow different software applications to communicate and exchange data seamlessly. In modern enterprise environments, APIs act as a digital connective tissue, allowing mobile apps to query backend databases, enabling cloud services to orchestrate workloads, and connecting third-party platforms to internal microservices. However, from a cybersecurity perspective, an API is one of the most critical and heavily targeted attack surfaces in your organization. Let's talk about it. Number 1.
The endpoint threat model.
Unlike traditional web interfaces designed for human interaction, APIs are exposed HTTP endpoints designed for automated system-to-system communication. Attackers target these endpoints using automated scripts to bypass front-end controls, test stolen credentials, or execute direct back-end queries.
Number 2. Broken Object Level Authorization, BOLA.
Constantly ranking as the number 1 threat in the OWASP API Security Top 10, BOLA occurs when an API endpoint fails to validate, rather, an authenticated user has authorization to access specific data objects. Attackers simply modify object IDs and API requests to dump arbitrary user accounts or sensitive internal records.
Number 3. Shadow and zombie APIs.
Unmonitored, deprecated, or undocumented API endpoints deployed by development teams outside security visibility present significant perimeter risk. Because these endpoints often lack updated authentication controls and rate limits, attackers leverage them to bypass primary security gateways.
Number 4. API security architecture.
Hardening APIs requires deploying dedicated API gateways equipped with web application and API protection, also known as the WAAP, enforcing strict OAuth 2.0 mTLS token validation, implementing strict request rate limiting, and ensuring endpoints adhere to the principle of least privilege by returning only necessary data fields. That brings us to the conclusion of today's technical brief on Cyber FM. To recap the core material covered on today's show, we talked about what an API is and why automated endpoints represent a primary attack vector in modern application security. We spoke about common API vulnerabilities including BOLA, broken authentication, and data exposure risk. We also talked about the threat of shadow APIs operating outside security visibility and perimeter monitoring, and we ended on the essential API defense controls including API gateways, mTLS, rate limiting, and strict token validation. I've prepared a deep dive report on each story posted on my LinkedIn page, complete with detailed indicators of compromise, patch advisories, and architecture hardening guidelines. Final thank you to our program sponsor, the RSSH Delivery Company, New York's exclusive delivery option. When physical asset transit requires absolute discretion, controlled security, and rapid delivery across NYC, demand the RSSH. I'm your host, Arias Thomas. Stay vigilant, audit your API endpoints, enforce strict token validation, and join us right here next time on Cyber FM.
Arias Thomas.